Oh, I was gonna say, I'll tell you what else I think is cringe.
Uh-huh.
Uh, them muting half of Usher's speech.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is this?
Somebody's in trouble today for that, I'm sure.
There was all type of speculation as to why. I mean, we have since found, some of us, we have since found the full speech. It's also on BET's
Website.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Um, if y'all want to go find it.
Hmm.
But that was cringe. I was sitting there like, yo, what is going? What? You're
Yeah.
gonna mute half the man's speech, and it was 13 minutes. This one to mute 6 minutes of somebody's speech, like.
Yeah, it was
I don't
weird.
know if they actually muted 6 minutes for the annoying ass people in the comments. So if I'm wrong, please forgive me. It's an exaggeration. It's an estimate. I don't literally know the exact amount of time that they muted Usher. The point is, they muted Usher for way too long. It was weird, it was cringeworthy, and it was annoying. To me.
Hmm. Oh, I think it annoyed. I think it annoyed everyone. I don't think it was just you.
People were online speculating that he said something about Diddy
Yeah.
and that he must be, the powers that be must want to mute him. So I'm glad that they did put the full speech on their YouTube channel, and people who were there have been spreading the video online
Hmm.
as well.
Yeah.
Excuse me, a little bit of gas from the bubbles. Um, but I'm glad that it is available for those who want to see the full speech, so they could kind of kill the speculative talk, and people can see what was really said. They did still mute the f bombs and some of the other things, but overall, you can hear what he's saying. But I think for this to be a live event and for them to mute him in that way, that was really bad. Yeah, I agree with you that someone is probably in trouble today.
Or doesn't even
Um,
know.
you think they got fired?
It's not unheard of. You got to
Mm.
remember, it's a live show that has ads in it, and and not only that, the segment itself was sponsored.
I mean,
Walmart
every
was
award, every award was sponsored. That's
right,
which I
but
which I don't like, but that's the way they do their
that's
awards.
that's the way they do it. That's the way they make money. But if you're thinking about the fact that the segment was sponsored, a sponsor could say, "This is
Oh,
not what we
okay.
paid for."
My head's got to roll.
Yeah.
It's a
Um.
valid point.
So I don't know. Like, I'm just saying it. You know, it's a big blunder.
Yeah.
Um. And they're saying it was a technical failure. Um. We don't.
Oh, is
We'll
that what
never.
they said?
Yeah, they said it
I
was a
don't believe
tech.
that.
Right. So that's what I was about to say. They're saying it's a tech issue that happened, like a mechanical issue that happened. I I think there's probably more to the story. I think that someone
Mhm.
probably messed up, and
Yeah, they held that mute button too long.
but they cannot
They did
tell
like
us
Inside Out too. They had their hand on the control too long.
exactly. But
Control
they
board.
but they cannot. They would never come out and tell us that someone on staff did something wrong. Like, they would have to say it in a way that is palatable for the public and palatable for sponsors. So we'll really never know. Like, you have to talk to someone who's like works in production there to find out what really happened.
Right.
Um, but
You ain't call the homies.
no, because I don't know anybody in production. That's why, just to be clear, like, nothing I say here has anything to do with anybody I know.
Got it.
But yeah, um it's a big blunder.
Yeah, it was bad.
People pay to be in that live show. Like, there are a lot of behind the scenes things that happen to make sure that the show runs correctly and the ads run correctly. So
Right.
yeah. So I'm curious, but I don't think that's something we'll ever find out. Um, but
Probably not.
no. Um,
But what we did
Usher
find
had a
out.
lot to say. Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, I was ready to move on. Go ahead. No, please.
I was gonna say Usher had a lot to say. Now, something that I said before Usher even walked on the stage was, "Oh Lord," because Usher won an award before that. You mentioned the award he won, and he won an award before that, and he was just talking and talking and talking. I said, "Oh my goodness." One thing about Usher, and he said it too. One thing about Usher, he's gonna talk, and he's
Yeah.
gonna talk for as long as he wants, because
Yeah.
he has gotten to the point in his life and career where he's like, "Y'all can't tell me to shut up." So I knew this was going to be a long speech from Usher, and I also knew that it had gone on too long when he mentioned Swiss Beats and those women. I don't know why he did that. And his ex-wife.
I don't. I will say this as a dad. Sometimes we gotta catch ourselves when we're checking our kids
Yeah,
because, man, Usher's probably gonna regret that moment when he said that to his son. He embarrassed
to
that kid
him.
on national television.
He did.
That's messed up.
He did. I saw it in two different ways. I saw
He
it
said, what?
that
He
way.
said, why you looking like that? You ain't happy today? I said, "Man."
So he
The
did
dad
that.
came out.
Right. He did that, and I thought two things. I thought, man, that kid is probably livid. And I also thought to myself,
You're gonna hear about that the whole way home.
oh yeah. And then I also thought to myself, well, that was also, yes, a very dad thing to do and a very human thing to do.
Yeah.
And one thing I do like about Usher, and I always say about Usher, is that he seems like a genuine person. Like, what you see is what you get. Um, it's very easy to humanize him. I think that that moment really humanized him because, I
Yeah.
mean, you're a parent, so you know
Oh yeah.
there's times where you say things around other people, and I'm sure your daughter gives you a look like, but did you have to say it
Yes.
around them?
Yes, she does.
So to me, I felt like that was such a relatable moment for
Yeah, I
all
think
of
that's
us.
gonna be a regret of Usher's for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I mean, because we all don't get embarrassed in front of the entire world. Um,
Yeah.
so maybe a select few, but not, but
Yeah.
not
I felt bad for
not of
Cinco. I did.
all of Black America.
Yeah, I felt bad for Cinco.
Yeah.